Well, it came and went quick, Skinny. The Bengals Saturday night stadium practice in the books. Want to get your takeaway. What was your biggest takeaway from this fun night?
I got to tell you, Shamar Stewart just keeps showing up time and time again. I mean, he was good in the run game. He was good in individual drills. He was effective rushing the passer. He knocked down a pass again, a Jake Browning pass. I don't want to be on the hype train too much because, again, you're not playing against somebody else. There's not multiple combo blocks probably on you yet. But I guess the flip side would be if he wasn't doing some of these things, you'd be saying, oh, all the time he's missed, look where he's at. I don't think that's the case at the moment. He's looked really, really good.
With Shamar, he's been getting a lot of second-team reps right now, going against that second offensive line. At what point do you think the Bengals unleash him on the ones?
Yeah, it'll be a good question. Maybe after the first preseason game, get him some snaps in there just to see what that looks like, because he's probably going to have to get some. He's going to be a rotational piece at a minimum and may get some more snaps with the ones depending on what happens with Trey Hendrickson. But yeah, I think you'll see that start to get mixed and matched a little bit more. I think it's been interesting. They've been playing him on both sides, left and right. It doesn't look like he has a real preference for what he does. I mean, some guys don't like lining up on the right. Some guys don't like lining up on the left. It looks like to me it doesn't matter what side he lines up on. He's been effective on both. But we also haven't seen tackling yet, right? And part of his problem was the production of finishing plays. 1.5 sacks per year in college. It's been noted. It's been talked about. In these practices, you're not tackling Joe Burrow. You're not tackling Jake Browning. You can get there and go, that would have been a sack, and you always have to preface that with a guy who didn't do it in college going, would it have been? I don't know.
And with the both sides that you mentioned, we saw today he breaks up a pass lining up on the left, and then he just blew right through Cochran on the right side. So he's doing stuff on both sides.
Yeah, and he had a really good rep on a run play, I think against Devin Cochran as well, where he was influenced inside. He jumped right back outside. He was there to, it wasn't a hole, but he was there to really kind of set an edge and stop the play. Again, I don't want to get too much hype on the guy because we haven't seen him finish because he's not allowed to finish. But what we've seen so far, I think, has been what you would hope it would be.
All right, let's stay on the defensive line right now. Want to go to TJ Slaton. We saw him really bullying offensive linemen in some drills today.
Yeah, and again, it's always hard because he can't get there to finish, but he pushes everybody. And I was talking to a Bengals official the other day, and I said, you know, if you talk to coaches off the record, who do they say some of the guys doing it? He goes, TJ Slaton's name always comes up of all the things he's doing. I mean, he's done some really, really great things to this point. I think he's a guy, he's never going to show up in the stats, right? I mean, DJ Reader rarely showed up in the stats. Yeah, he'd have a couple of sacks, maybe 3 or 4, but he was never going to be that guy. He is a guy who's supposed to push the middle, supposed to occupy 2 blockers to free up others. They didn't really have that guy last year. And it's funny, I mean, he has DJ Reader's number. They have the same body type. I mean, they're almost similar type. If you had told me that DJ Reader was back for this year and I look at the same guy, I go, yeah, that's DJ Reader. It's instead TJ Slaton. So yeah, to your point, he's been impressive as well.
All right, we are coming up on that first preseason game, less than a week until the Bengals take the field for real, going up against another team. And around this time of the year, always talking about injuries in camp, preseason games. Had a couple guys today that didn't go.
Yeah, Cam Taylor-Britt didn't go again. They haven't officially said what it is. We've seen him. I know you've seen him too. They've stretched his hamstrings a few times in practices. He's gone back in some. He's not gone back in other times. I think this early in camp, you're not going to push an injury like that, no matter how severe. It may not even be all that severe. And then Amarius Mims still dealing apparently with a hand issue. I saw him in the locker room. I walked by him just to see if he had anything on the hand. He did not, but he didn't go today. And then Mike Gesicki may have tweaked a hamstring. We don't know. He still had his helmet, so technically he was still probably allowed to go back in. They didn't put him back in, but he participated in a lot of the practice. It's just something simply, in my opinion, to monitor. I don't think it's anything alarming. Watched him walk off. It looked okay to me.
And at this point in time, don't want to risk anything with that, so keep him out. Better safe than sorry. And then another big story with this team, it's the kicking. Evan McPherson, is he going to get back to what he was in that Super Bowl run? He'd been money so far in training camp. Today had a couple missed kicks on some long 50-plus yard field goals.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, and I'm not going to make an excuse for him whatsoever. He made all of his kicks when Cal Adamitis was snapping. He missed 2 when William Wagner snapped. Now, the 2 he missed also were a 51-ish and then a 56-yarder towards the end of camp. He missed them both right. And remember, he's changed himself to where he's trying to get the ball to hook. And on both those, it didn't look like he got either one of those to hook. Was it because of the snap? Was it because of the hole? Was it just because Evan didn't kick it the way he wanted to hit it? But he's been pretty good so far in camp, but does that mean, hey, again, snappers, you don't think much about them, right? All you think about is, do they have unplayable snaps? It's not that. It's literally, where do you put the laces? What's the revolutions of that? How hurried are you to get that thing? Can you even get it turned because you're hurried? There's a lot to that. It's hard for the naked eye to see as something that Darren Simmons, the special teams coach, will evaluate. But again, the 2 misses were with William Wagner snapping. Again, I'm not here to tell you it was his fault, but it's just the fact that he was the one doing the snapping.
one of the best parts of training camp, and today's practice especially, Skinny talking in the press box about the snapper competition with Cal Adamitis. And you brought up Darren Simmons before training camp started. He talked about that long snapper holder kicker relationship and trying to get that shored down this year and how important that is.
Yeah, I mean, you took for granted for how long Clark Harris was the long snapper and Kevin Huber was the holder. Yeah, there were different kickers. There was Mike Nugent, there was Randy Bullock, and there was Evan McPherson, and you just took for granted that the operation was going to go smooth because it had always gone smooth. Clark Harris was a Pro Bowl long snapper at one point. Kevin Huber's played more games than any Bengal in team history, and so you always took for granted that part of the operation, and now you had Cal Adamitis and Brad Robbins, then Cal Adamitis and Drew Chrisman, and then Cal Adamitis and Ryan Rico. Now maybe William Wagner and Ryan Rico. That's a lot of change in operation for the kicker to have to deal with. He's got to deal with it, but it's a lot.
They have 3 preseason games to figure it out and find out where they're going to go. Well, that'll do it from the Bengals in-stadium practice. Always a fun time. Great weather, not too hot, no rain, unlike down in Bristol, Tennessee, for where the Reds are playing tonight in the Speedway Classic. But yeah, the Bengals back on the field tomorrow, a noon practice instead of the 10 a.m.s that they've been doing. We'll have more coverage from there.